and it is Monday, and it's going to be a great day. I'm actually very excited for today. I'm excited for today. I'm excited for this week. I'm excited for life. I'm excited for all the good things. So we are going to ship out the items that we have sold over the weekend. So let's see, we shipped on Friday. Yeah, we shipped on Friday. So this is going to be everything that's sold on Saturday and Sunday. Joey, welcome in, you guys. Creekside's here. Allison, I see you. I see you sneaking in here. Auntie is here. Good morning, you guys. Dwight is in the house. It is Monday. I am excited. I got mega sleep yesterday, so I feel really, really good. It's going to be a fantastic and amazing, awesome week. Your secondhand stash is here. One slow. Lynn is in the house. Oh my gosh. Joe says you look so cute in the hat. Guys, okay, here's the true story with the hat. My hair is so bad right now. I need to color it so bad. I think that's what I'm actually going to end up doing. I got to budget that into schedule today because I have to get it done. It's so bad, you guys. My grow out is that long. It's so faded. It's so terrible, especially after garage sailing on Saturday. I wear a hat when I'm garage sailing, which helps the sun rays a little bit, but the sun bleaches out those bright colors. So it's yellowish back here. Ooh, girl needs some self-care. Releft finds, what's going on? I was going to do it yesterday, but I'll be honest, I just needed a day to not have to do any hardcore work. I just was a super bum yesterday, and it was awesome. I went to bed last night at 5 o'clock at night or something. I got 12 hours of sleep. I am ready to go. Relove says, I'm doing my clear out show shortly. Ooh, Relove's doing a clear out show. Tell us about that. What are you doing? What are you clearing out? You clearing out everything? Are you selling it all? Rise and Moon Collectibles. What's going on, you guys? All right, so for those of you that don't know me, my name is Charity. I am a reseller out of the South Austin, Texas area, and I resell a little bit of everything. I would say I specialize in vintage clothing and probably men's clothing, menswear. Those are definitely my wheelhouses, my comfort size. Oh my gosh, Creekside! One of the last stickers, guys. That's going to be it, 16, and then it's gone forever because this hair color will be done, and she's going to be doing a new color with new stickers, so that should be fun. It'll be fun. Justin's like, we'll make a rainbow. Collect them all. Anyways, yeah, so I sell a little bit of everything. I would say, like I said, I specialize in that stuff, but I'm kind of at the mercy of what we find at garage sales, so I just never know what we're going to sell. Relove says, I'm clearing out my vintage and modern baby and kids clothes and shoes and books. Most are $5 starting bid and below. That is crazy. You guys, go in and click on Reloved Finds. It is a friend of ours. Click on her and let's check out her show in a little bit too. If you're clearing stuff out, I mean, we all like a closet clean out. I know, I've been thinking about wanting to do that coming up here sometime soon too, getting rid of just old stuff and clearing some stuff out. That's always fun. So Shai says purple. I have a color in mind that I think I want to do. I haven't done it in a really, really long time. So I think I might do that. I think I might. Especially because my hair is faded enough right now to pretty much do any color. A lot of times when you do a specific color, it's you got to stay in that wheelhouse for a really long time. If it's in the reds or the pinks or the purples, you got to kind of stay there. And then if you go down the rainbow, you can kind of change it if it gets a little bit more faded, which is kind of where mine's at right now. So I think I know what I want to do, but I don't know yet. We'll see. Good morning, Stephanie. Fluorescent yellow for summer. Man, fluorescent yellow is the color my hair is when I bleach it out. I've tried it. I tried doing fluorescent yellow one time, and I think it's just my Irish skin tone against the fluorescent yellow. It looked like I needed to go to the doctor. It did not look right. I looked like a tomato in my face, and then the hair, it was probably not me. Relove says, I went sourcing this weekend, found a Bob the Builder playset. I expected the case to be empty and it wasn't. Wow. It was filled with metal die-cast Bob toys. That's Smoking hot. That is amazing. Yeah, that's a great find. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. If you guys have any shows coming up or anyone shows that you want to talk about or put in here, please feel free. This is all about this hour, us hanging out. This is all about reselling. This is about us talking about anything in the reselling life or anything you want to talk about. Shout your shows out, put all your things in here. That's what it's all about, is so that we can hang out together. No shows yet, but I have snacks in my shop. Steph, you got snacks? Uh-oh. What do you got? What kind of snacks you got? What, you got tasty snacks? Man, I don't really eat a lot of sweets, but I did have yesterday I just went down the rabbit hole. I had a Bavarian filled donut. Oh my god, it was so good. I was like, oh yeah, sugar and carbs. I remember you. And then I got up this morning, my stomach was like, what did you eat? Oh my lord. Pickled Cheetos? What? They make pickled Cheetos? That's not real. Are you serious? Wait, did you make those? Did you make snacks? Did you make pickled Cheeto snacks? Oh my goodness. Sophia's heart is here. Pokey Bear, good to see you. The next time you tell Justin he can't eat, I'm going to remind you of that donut. You know what, Shy? That's going to happen real soon, because you know that man's going to walk in here in about 8 minutes and be like, you know what sounds really good for lunch today? What if we had like chicken sandwiches? He's the worst influence. He's the worst. Honey, you're a terrible influence. He goes, oh. Want to pop in and say, hey, and you're awesome. Guys, these are my good friends. House of Coop right here. Right there. Right there. You guys should see it. Make sure, or maybe it's right there. It might be right there. Oh, the screen is backwards. There we go. You guys, if you want to go to a great show with like amazing items, they find the coolest like vintage knick-knacky decorations, granny square blankets. I mean, they always have, I don't know where they find this stuff. They are like the ultimate power couple of sourcing, and they find the greatest things. So guys, you have, oh, thanks guys. You guys have to follow them. I'm serious. They're some of the very first people I ever watched over here, and I pop in their shows all the time. It's amazing. Yeah, Steph agrees. Coop, we agree. All right, first thing we've got that we sold here is a pair of, now, this is so funny. So this is a pair of 1990s high-waisted Rockies. These are blue, like a really pretty blue color mom jeans. What is so great about these is I listed these for, I must have listed them for 60, and then, you know, my Nifty sends out offers. So I sent out an offer, it looks for $54.89. I know that's an offer because I never would have put that as a price. So Nifty sent out an offer for me for $54.89, and someone bought these. What's so funny about this though, you guys, is I literally had somebody private message me over on the Bay and say, what did they say? It was like 3 weeks ago. I'm trying to remember exactly what it said. I'm going to butcher it, but it said something like, highway robbery, or you think you're going to get this much for this, or you're taking advantage of people. It was something along those lines of them taking time out of their day to literally private message me that my listing was too high and it was outrageous. And I'm a pirate. And I'm like, yarg, well, you're kind of right about that. But it's so great because opinions are like armpits. Everyone has them. They generally stink. That person literally, somebody messaged me that 3 weeks ago. I immediately went and obviously blocked them on the Bay because I ain't got no time for that. If you don't know how to block people on the Bay, Google it and find out. It'll change your life forever. But I blocked them, and I literally just sold these for like, what, a few dollars less than what I listed them for. So nanny boo boo, stick your face in doo doo. Thanks for your opinion on whether or not you think my jeans are worth that much, because I just sold them to somebody for that exact price almost. So there you go. Take that. Hey, Justin, can you grab me some of the teal bags? Please and thank you. I appreciate you. Ooh, look at that. Come on, tell me that's not so cute. That reminds me actually of our dogs. That looks like Jack and Sally. If Jack and Sally had a baby, that's what it would look like. With the big old like Grogu ears and Jack's coloring. That's so funny. Fee says, I blocked someone who sent me a message that just said LMFAO on one of my items in the pay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Who are these people that are literally taking the time out of their lives to like waste their time messaging people? Like that's like the ultimate troll. Like, ooh, you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna go in the bay and I'm gonna find things that I think are too expensive, and then I'm gonna message people about them and be like, ha 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 ha. Like, what are you, get a job? What are you even doing with your life? Like, seriously. What'd you say? Ya bum? Get a job, ya bum. Shai says that next time you talk about wanting food and I deny you getting food, she's going to remind me of the Bavarian cream donut that I hate. That's so great. Very bored people. I know, I wish I had that much free time. I haven't even had free time to wax my mustache, let alone sending people's messages on the bay. I mean, good Lord. Yeah, those items always sell, I'm telling you. Sister's Closet, what you doing? All right, so they are going to get the cute little dog. They're going to get a sticker. We're going to put them in the bag, and we're going to send them on its way. Now, these are over, this is going to be over £1. So I am going to ship this using the old Pirate Bay because I know that it'll save me money. If you guys have not checked it out yet, if you are a reseller and you resell, you know, this is outside of Whatnot, but if you resell on other platforms and you have the ability to ship your own stuff and you're doing flat rate shipping, I would highly recommend getting a pirate ship account. It is free. It does not cost you anything. You don't have to have a business. You don't have to like be some sort of fancy highball and roller. You just start an account. So it's pirate ship shipping. Just look up pirate ship shipping, and you can purchase a label in there and then use that label to ship your items out. It will save you money. How they do it is they purchase like large size block cubic parcels within within shipments is basically what they're doing is they're buying shipping blocks wholesale, and then they're selling them back to you, parceling those out as almost retail. And because they do that, they're able to make a little bit of money on their end, and you make money because you save money. So it works really, really good. I love them. Their customer service is fantastic. If you ever have an issue with anything, like lost packages or anything like that, I have successfully, every single time I've had a lost package or a damaged package, I have been able to get reimbursed. I have been able to get things figured out. It works really, really, really good. So, okay, let's take a look. These are going to Madison in Pennsylvania. Weirdly enough, Pennsylvania is like one of my top places I ship to. And I've always wondered this, and I don't know the answer to this. Maybe somebody knows the answer to this. So when I lived in Washington State, the main places that felt like people purchased items from me were like Oregon, California, some Florida, but then a lot of like Midwest stuff, a lot of like kind of like Montana and North Dakota. I shipped a lot kind of in that area. When we moved down here to Texas, my main places I ship to now are Texas, Pennsylvania, New York, Florida, and California. So it's interesting how I'm more centrally located now. So I'm centrally, it seems like my listings that people see are like all over the place. But when I was in Washington, it was a little bit more like designated to one place. Do you guys know what your top states are that you ship to? I'm curious. Do we still weigh items the same with Pirate Ship? Yep, still the same. Now, the cool thing about Pirate Ship is Pirate Ship, if you're shipping stuff in a poly bag, you don't have to put in all of the measurements. So, for instance, if I was shipping a box on Pirate Ship, so let's say I'm shipping a hard good. This wouldn't pertain to a hard good. But if I'm shipping something that's like in a soft poly bag like this, I'm able to click on the choices, and I click on envelope, padded envelope, poly bag, soft bag, or box in a bag. When you do that, all you have to do is put the length and the width in, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it seems like if you don't have to put the height in a lot of times, you wind up saving a little bit of money. Like, for instance, if I were to ship these right here over on eBay, it would probably be like $8.29 to $8.59 probably to ship these. And then we're going to see what it is over here. And I bet you it's going to be less. So let's take a look here. So then what you do is you just put in, you copy the address from the bay, then you paste it in here. It auto fills everything in for you. And then you put the length in. We're going to go 10 by 9. 10 by 9. And then our weight is 1.8. Let's see, how close are we to 1.9? We better put 1.9 in. We better put 1.9 in. That's too close for comfort, which is an old show, by the way. That's old. That's old. Does anybody remember Too Close for Comfort? That's a really old show. So this is $8.49 here. It would have been, oh, it would have been $9.02 here. So it would have been $9.02 in the bay. It is $8.48 here. So that saved me like 50 cents just doing that. So, and this is going to go UPS is the decision. That's the least expensive here. So I'm going to buy that label and send it on its merry way. What's up, B? Good to see you. Everyday Treasures is here. Good to see you guys. Thanks for that question, King Kim. That was actually a really good question. I never thought to answer that before like that. So thanks for asking that. This is how we learn, stretch, and grow, right? All right, so we're going to print this puppy out. Boom, done. And thank goodness this is working better. Oh my gosh. I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but on Friday, and I guess it was kind of all last week, there was issues with it, but the bay was like so slow and it wouldn't let me choose anything, and oh, it was a shipping nightmare. So I am happy that that seems to be resolved. Good morning. On my way to look at a collection of G.I. Joe and Barbie. Ooh! If anyone's gonna find those cool old vintage toys, it's gonna be B. He is the toy guy. When I think of someone that knows like everything about toys and an insane amount of stuff about toys, that is the man. If you guys want to follow somebody that knows a ridiculous amount about toys, Vintage Toys Express right here, he is the man for sure. For sure. Thrift Rocker, what you doing? Okay, next thing we've got here is a shirt. Let's find it. Where you be? There you are. Okay, so this is a little Brooks Brother shirt. And when you're buying Brooks Brothers t-shirts, you always want to look for this little logo right here. Looks like a hanging pig or dog or something. It's called it's got to be like a lamb maybe. I think it's a lamb. It's called the Golden Fleece. And if you can find that on a shirt, it always makes your Brooks Brothers shirts. This is what Brooks Brothers looks like, by the way. It always makes your Brooks Brothers shirts a little bit more valuable. If I saw a Brooks Brothers t-shirt and it didn't have a golden fleece, now the golden fleece will come in different colors too. It depends on the shirt. It's kind of like, you know how Ralph Lauren, their polo logos are always like the pony and everything are different colors? It's the same thing with this. Now, this one here, I would have gotten more for it. However, when I got it home and went to take a picture, it did have a flaw in it, unfortunately. So it only sold for $10. I got it for $1, so it's fine. But I definitely didn't notice that when I was purchasing it. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, when I'm out garage sailing and stuff and I'm buying stuff, like, I'm looking. I'm trying to make sure, are the buttons all there and those kind of things. But I'm not always going to be perfect. And I'm going to so many garage sales on a Saturday. You got to kind of think like time and money. So I would rather pay $1 and take a chance that something is perfect than sit there and inspect each item and go over it and over it. Like, A, I'm going to wind up paying more at the sale for it because people are going to see me interested in it. And B, I'm going to get to less sales in the day because let's say that I'm looking at 1,000 items in a day, which is like nothing. I mean, we went to, this last Saturday, we didn't get to as many sales as we wanted to. I think we only got to like 38 or 39 sales. It was not, you guys know if you were with me on Saturday, it was a weird garage sale day. But, think about it, even at 50 sales, if I'm looking at 100 items at each sale, let's just say 100 pieces of clothing, multiply that by that many sales and then add 3 or 4 seconds on. I mean, we're talking like at the end of the day, you're wasting an hour just inspecting things. And for me, I don't want to waste that hour. That's burning daylight. We don't want to do that. So, I need some more tape. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, I try to inspect stuff, but I miss stuff sometimes, and it just kind of is what it is. So always spouting off the fact. Yep, and that is true. I mean, like, I get it. When I first was doing this, I would comp. Oh my God, the amount of time I probably spent at garage sales comping things and looking everything up. And at the end of the day, if someone's going to give me something for $1 or $2, like, am I really going to sit there and like spend all of that time trying to research it? Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't research. I think researching is great because I think that's how you learn what things are. But at the end of the day, if you are wasting seconds, valuable minutes, looking and trying to make sure you're perfect at this, you're wasting your time because there is no such thing as a perfect reseller. I'm telling you right now, ask anyone that's been doing this for any length of time. You're going to mess up. You're going to buy stuff that doesn't sell. You're going to buy stuff that's broken. You don't realize it. You're going to buy things that you think are going to fly off the shelf, and they're literally going to sit in your inventory for 1.5 years. And then you're going to buy stuff that you think is nothing, that you're just like, oh, that's kind of cool, and you're going to sell it for a whole bunch of money. So it's just, have you guys ever heard that expression, it all comes out in the wash? That's what this business is. It all comes out in the wash. You got to be willing to mess up, take chances, buy things cheap, hope it flips for high, or at least flips for, like, you know, bread and butter prices, and then you just move on. So this is going to Tracy in Michigan, and we might make a little bit on the shipping of this. Now, when I am shipping stuff like this, I try to get it as small as I can. If you can get a parcel down to 6 by 6 by 2, so one more time, 6 by 6 by 2, if you can get it to 6 by 6 by 2, you're going to wind up saving money on shipping when you're doing flat rate shipping. So if you can get it small, that's why you'll see me really fold packages and stuff like that, is so that I can save money. So yeah, that saved me 70 cents just taking it from being 8 by 8 by 3, changing that down to 6 by 6 by 2. It is now $4.62 to ship it, which is like almost $1 less. I think it was at $5.49 before that. Now they paid $5.99, so I made my original investment back in. Now I only made after fees like $8 on this, but it's $8 I didn't have before, and I'm just happy to be able to sell a shirt that has a flaw in it. I'm sorry, did you answer about pirate ship weighing items? Someone started to me. Yeah, so on pirate ship, you do have to put the accurate weight in for sure. However, the nice thing with pirate ship that we were talking about is that you're able to just put in the length and the width. You don't have to put the height in when you're doing poly bags. So it just saves a little bit of time. Now, you can connect your eBay to your pirate ship. You can have them talk to each other so that you can just have your stuff in there and then it just auto prints, I guess, or something for you. I don't do it that way because when I do my eBay listings, I don't put in the exact weight it's going to be. I just put kind of something minorly generic in there, because otherwise I'd have to go in and I'd have to weigh everything and stuff ahead of time. And again, time is money. So I just generally put that my t-shirts weigh 8 ounces. I put that my long sleeves weigh 15. I put that my pants weigh 1.5 pounds. So I just kind of have like standard weights I do. So then I do have to weigh it, and then when I sell it, but I'd rather weigh it when I sell it when I'm standing here than weigh it perfectly. What if I forget that I'm to add the poly bag weight on or whatnot? So I just do it like that. So we are going to go back and ship the next thing. I hope that answers your question. Do you know how to zoom in and zoom out quicker? I see people do it really fast. Zoom in and zoom out quicker. MW suppliers, I'm not sure what you're talking about. You'll have to clarify on that. Zoom in and out where? God's here. My friend God's in the house. Good to see you. Chuck Wagon, good to see you. Zoe's Treasures. Like zoom in on an item. Like with your camera? Oh, are you talking about like with your camera? With your camera. So for me on my camera, all I have to do on mine is at the bottom, because I got an iPhone, I have 0.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. You can click those auto zooms, or you can just bring your fingers in. Just make sure if you're on an iPhone that the little flower symbol is showing. I'm not sure what that is. It's some sort of like autofocus or something, and it helps you to focus in like on labels and stuff really quickly. I think that's what you're talking about. What happens when your final shipping is more than the generic shipping you put in? Do you eat that? You can, yeah. And so that's why I usually overestimate a little bit. So on my t-shirts, my standard t-shirts, I usually put 8 ounces. Now I know for me, a standard t-shirt is usually going to weigh anywhere between like 6 to 8 kind of max. It may be like 8.4, but that's for standard sizes. So if I'm doing a t-shirt, like let's say, let's find something here that's larger. Let's go with like, just looking at stuff I'm selling today. So here's like a standard, this is something I'm going to be taking pictures of and putting up today. So here's a standard Western shirt, right? This is probably going to weigh like 8 ounces. But because of all the pearl snaps and stuff like that, I'm going to estimate it up just a little bit. So I may put in 11 ounces for this one, even though that's not what it's going to be. So you just kind of learn how to like add a little extra on. And if you're someone that sells generally the same kind of items, you just kind of know how to do that. So like if I'm selling like this t-shirt right here, right? Standard little t-shirt, I'm going to put that in as 8 ounces, even though it's not. But if I'm doing like a long sleeve like this, and it's in a size medium or large, I know that this is going to weigh like 13 to 14 ounces. But if this is an extra large or a double XL, I got to put that over a pound. And so then it's going to go into my next weight like bracket that I use in my head. It's something you just get over time. What I did in the beginning was I just built myself a little cheat sheet. So I put down like t-shirts, and then I put a weight. I put down like long sleeve dress shirts, a weight, jeans, a weight. Like if I'm selling a pair of Junkos, I know that those are going to be like 2 pounds, 10 ounces just because of the extra material. But if I'm selling a pair of like men's 30, 34 Levi 501 button flies, I know those are going to be like 1 pound, 9 ounces if they're modern. I know they're going to be like 1 pound, 14 to 2 pounds, 1 ounce if they're vintage. You just literally start to learn those things. Now, if you're not a clothing seller and you're a hard goods seller, let's say I was selling this, I would put this on the scale. I'd have a scale next to me when I'm listing. This says that it is 1 pound exactly, but I got to also take in consideration the box, the packing materials, anything else I'm going to put in here. So I know I'm going to list this as like 1 pound, 8 ounces. I'm going to give myself some space. Now, here's what's cool about that. If you do flat rate shipping and you're like, okay, let's see, if I ship something that is 1 pound, 8 ounces, I know that I'm going to charge $10.99 for shipping on that. Here's the thing though, that may only be 1 pound, 4 ounces, and the shipping may only be $8.70. You then get to keep that $1.70. Now, do I eat it a little bit, a buck or so here and there every once in a while? I still do. Every once in a while I screw up, I underestimate, or I put the wrong number in and I eat $1 or something. But if we on average usually sell around, 10 to 20 items a day on our static listings, so not including whatnot, just doing like, the Bay and the Ashi marks and that kind of stuff. So out of all of the packages, even if I ate $1 a day, I've made $9 to $14. So I've still made money, and it's helped to kind of cover my original listing. I hope that makes sense. So it is just one of those things I tell new resellers, get yourself a notebook and just start making yourself a cheat sheet. If I sell something, this is how much I want to do for shipping. If you want to know what you should charge for shipping, you can go into Pirate Ship, and they've got a section in there called rate. So you could just kind of like see what the rate's going to be. What I did when we moved down here to Texas is I literally sat down and I had like 8 ounce package, 1 pound package, 1.5 pound package, 2 pound package. And I wrote down all of the weights and sizes. And then I went in and I went in to see what it would cost me to ship that item to a Starbucks up in Maine, because that's like super far from me, and what it would cost me to ship it to like a Starbucks address in Washington State. It gave me like an idea of what I should charge. And then I just kind of created my own rules for myself. So like I ship t-shirts for $5.99 unless they're 2XL or bigger, and then it's $6.99. I ship long sleeve men's polo button up shirts for $6.99 unless it's 2XL or bigger, and then it's $8.99. My jeans are $8.99. Shoes without a box are $10.99. Shoes with the box, if they're small, are $12.99. Cowboy boots are $15.99, and anything above that, I usually really do weigh if it's something weird and strange and large. So you just kind of figure out what works for you, and what works for you is not going to work for anybody else because it has to do with where you are in the country and how close you are to different shipping ports and all that kind of stuff. Your second hand said, thanks, this is helpful. Does that work on Whatnot too? No, absolutely not. Whatnot, you do not get anything extra. So Whatnot shipping took me some time. Dude, my first couple of shows, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, I literally was in tears one of the shows afterwards trying to get stuff shipped. We had done, I was like posters or something, and we completely messed up on the shipping. I was so frustrated, and I definitely was teary. Thankfully, I was able to get a hold of my good friend Hustle, so I Can Hustle All Day is incredible. He's another reseller on here, and he helped kind of walk me through the shipping because I was like at my wit's end with shipping on here. I don't know why, but it just seems more difficult over here than it needed to be. I've got it now. We figured it out now. But what I will say on Whatnot is if you ship over here, whatever you do, overestimate what you think is the weight's going to be because you only get to change 5 things a week. So if you mess up on the weights over here, it gonna cost you money, my friend. You're gonna pay some ducats. So if I've got an item, let's say I've got this, and I think that this probably weighs this, I think this is 3 ounces. Let's see, what is it? Literally 3 ounces. So if I think this is 3 ounces, I'm putting this in as 5 to 7. I may even put it in as 8 to 11 because I got to do packaging in the box and all the little things you got to do around it. So over here on Whatnot, definitely overestimate. Unfortunately, you don't keep any extra. You know, there's a balance over here. You're trying to keep costs low for your customers, but you're also trying to not eat it too hard. And so there's just this ebb and flow over here that you got to kind of figure it out. Oh God, you still haven't unraveled the posters. That's hilarious. Hey, most of those I think you bought are vintage, so they're accruing in value. Let them sit. Ducky Hugs, good to see you. Do you think it's worth just offering free shipping on Whatnot and then doing your own pirate ship? You can't. So you have to ship out of Whatnot. As far as I know, I don't think that there's an option for you to ship outside of Whatnot. Yeah, I would never do free shipping over here. I mean, I love y'all and I want to help give you deals, but like you would eat it in a way that I can't even explain it because there is a standard like shipping price over here. Yeah, I would definitely not mess with that. That would be sketch. Let's see, did I miss anything else? Cherry Bomb says you can use your fingers. Oh yeah, and the zoom. Yes, thank you, Cherry Bomb, for answering that. Yeah, you can use the zoom for zooming in and out for sure on your phone. That's an easy little trick. Auntie, welcome back. Adorable RTT. Do you like him? He's feeling a little Western today. Yes, let's see if we can do it. That's my R2D2. He's my favorite thing in the world. I love R2. How do you have your setup? Top 1 on priority, bottom 1 on ground advantage. So that's a great question, Boutique. I do it a couple different ways. If I'm doing a show and I know that everything's going to be about the same weight or it's going to be lightweight. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to do a show and I'm going to do Western shirts, right? Well, I know that this one and this one and this one and all the other ones are going to weigh about the same. I also know that I can fold these and get these really small into a flat rate box. So normally what I will do is if it's a show where I kind of know what everything's going to weigh, I will do the $9.21 max shipping. So what that means is that's the most a person will pay. They'll pay like, let's say $4.38 for the first shirt, and then they'll pay, $4.50 or whatever it is to get to $9.21 on that next shirt. And then between 1 pound and 5 pounds, they get free shipping. And then at 5 pounds, it resets over again. So they'll never pay more than $9.21, right? What happens for me is I set up my show to have first class, because that's how I sell our stickers right here. And then I do priority, which means anything between 1 pound to 5 pounds is going to be priority. If someone were to purchase enough items that it goes over 5 pounds, then I do flat rate. So you want to make sure you set up your show to have first class stamps, which is this here, if you're selling stickers or anything like that. Then you want to do priority, and then you want to do flat rate. Now, how that would change is if you were selling things that were heavy. So let's say that I'm selling these things, right? Or I'm selling things that are like this, that weigh, they've got some girth to it. This is what, like probably a pound. Exactly. So this is 1 pound exactly. So, and let's say all the things I'm selling are about this size. They're all a couple pounds. They're all heavy. In that case, I probably want to set up my show to be priority and ground advantage, because you only get, for flat rate, you can only have a certain size box and you can only go to a certain weight. So if you're selling stuff that's really, really, really heavy, then you want to do it that way. The only time, or stuff that's really, 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 really big and could never fit in a flat rate box. I did a Tupperware show, and I'm so glad I did this. Hustle helps me with this. I set ours up to do priority and then ground advantage. And thank God I did that, because had I not done that, because ground advantage allows you to do different size boxes and stuff like that, I don't know what I would have done. I would have had to broke every single one of those Tupperware things up, because it has to fit in a flat rate box, right? So that you just got to kind of like think about what you sell. Now, if I'm selling things that are big, if I'm going to do a show and it's all shoes, I can't do the $9.21 max shipping, because what's going to happen is when it gets to that 5 pounds, which is going to be like a couple pairs of shoes, that's all they're going to pay. If I can't fit those shoes in a flat rate box, then it's going to flip over to priority. Once it flips to priority, it's going to charge me another $9.21 every time I have to break that stuff up to get it into boxes and packages. So for me, I don't do the max shipping on the bigger and bulkier ones. I do priority, which means that they're going to pay up to $9.21. They're going to pay to a pound. 1 to 5 is free, and then at that 5 pounds, they get charged $9.21 again. 1 to 5 is free, they get charged $9.21 again. This probably all sounds confusing, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, it really is. I love Whatnot. Y'all know I live on this app, but the shipping on this, it's a learning curve. If you have been selling things elsewhere, doing static selling, meaning you're selling it on the Bay or the Oshimarks or the Carimays or the Depoppies, if you've been selling over there, this is a learning curve. So you'll get to know it and learn it. Oh, hi, you want to say hello? Well, come here. All right, everybody. Jack wants to say hello. This is Jack, Mr. Jack Skellington, our handsome boy. Say hello. He gets very excited when he gets on camera. Say hello to everybody. Oh, hey, buddy. Hi, honey boy. You hanging out? All right, you got to go. Love you. And then we let roll. Hey, Mojo, what are you doing over here? What in the heck is going on? He is a sweet baby. Everybody says, hi, Jack. I sell clothes and small shoes, but if they buy a lot, I can't get it in the 12 by 12. Yeah. So on that boutique, you either have to eat it and pay that little extra at the end to have your things separated. You do get to do it 5 times for free. So if you're, a newer seller, you don't have tons and tons of customers, maybe you only have, 6 different people or 4 different people coming into a show to buy, maybe you're only doing 1 show a week, then that's fine. You could probably do the $9.21 max shipping, because you'll be able to change 5 of those at the end and you won't get charged for it. You'll be able to do what's called the unbundling. So you can get things in 2 different packages. If you're someone that, though, is a more seasoned seller over here, you've got a lot of people coming in the show, you've got 17 different people buying, you're running all these shows every week, then you just have to ask yourself, am I making enough money to eat that at the end? And if you're not, then I would do priority. That's what we do for 80% of our shows. The only ones I ever do the $9.21 max shipping is if I literally know I can fit stuff in boxes and I can get things really, really, really small. But shoes, once you start putting shoes in the mix, that just doesn't really work out. Erica, good to see you. Stephanie, happy to see you as well. Good to see you. Yes, right, exactly. Is there a way at the end of the show if you want to change the bundling, or can you pick whether it's priority or ground advantage? So if you have set up the show ahead of time and you've toggled on flat rate, you can toggle that off. It'll switch to priority, but it's going to charge you. If you're doing how I would set my shows up, so this is how I do it. If we do the $9.21 shows, we do priority, flat rate. because I know I can get that stuff in flat rate boxes if I wrap real small. And I know that it's clothing, so it's small, right? If I'm not doing the 921 though, and I know that it's the items are bigger or bulkier, then I'm going to do priority, because that way everyone pays, the people pay. You don't have to change nothing. You don't have to change the weight of the box. You don't have to change the size of the box. You don't have to. You can literally just basically hit print and just print out all of your stuff and just ship it that way. So that is what I would suggest doing for sure, because there's not a lot of options to change things at the end. If you do, like I said, you get to change 5 a week, but you do get charged. And it's weird too. Sometimes it'll charge me for things and other times it doesn't. It's a little confusing over here. We're fairly newly, and we got a priority box sent back to us Friday because label printed ground. So now my customer's waiting. So I shipped for home, man. That's tough. Rox, I'll say this. We had the same kind of stuff happen to us over here in the beginning too. Their shipping is just interesting over here. It's definitely one of the features I do love that they put in over here is now you can at least see when you go to print out the labels. Before, you could not tell if an item was going to ship priority or ground or flat rate. You couldn't see that until you went to generate the label. Now they have actually put it on there what it's going to ship as. So just be cognizant of that, and just know that anything that's under a pound will always ship Ground Advantage. Anything that's over 5 pounds, if you had Ground Advantage as the selected method, it's going to want to ship that ground Advantage. So as long as you don't have to change anything, you're good. It's when you have to go in and change stuff or you don't catch it. I'm so sorry that happened to you. That sucks. I feel you. We had a show that we ate it. We've had a couple shows that we've eaten it. Just because we just didn't know. I mean, under a pound is ground. Yes, always. Anything under a pound will always ship Ground Advantage, no matter what you selected. I bought something, she shipped it different because it had a problem. Ended up shipping another box so she didn't get in trouble. Yeah, you gotta do weird stuff over here. No, I'll see to see you. Good to see you. Do you know how long it takes WN to charge you for extra weight after the item has been shipped? So if you're a newer seller and you have not sold 1,000 items yet, that charge comes immediately. I believe, and I could be wrong about this, but I think after you reach the 1,000 items early payout, I believe it charges it after you've shipped it. In some instances, you'll get charged immediately for stuff like your giveaways and stuff. That'll auto charge you immediately, and it'll look like your account's negative. It's not really negative. It's just a pending charge waiting for your things to go through. So I'm 50-50 on that answer being correct. I could be wrong on that, but you should see it pretty, and it'll tell you too, like, you caution, if you purchase this label, you are going to be charged an extra $9.21 or $4.27 or whatever it is that they charge you. So if Ground Advantage is on, it will be for under 1 pound and over 5 pounds. If it doesn't matter what you select, if it's under a pound, it will always go Ground Advantage unless you're shipping like a sticker. So if you're shipping a sticker, then and you have the first class letter toggled on, that's the only other thing under a pound that won't ship Ground Advantage. Everything else under a pound will always ship Ground Advantage regardless of what you toggle. But if you've toggled Ground Advantage, then anything over a pound will be Ground Advantage. If you toggled on flat rate, then anything over 5 pounds will be flat rate. If you toggled priority, anything over 5 pounds will be priority. So it just kind of depends on how you toggle it. I know one of the other reasons we do priority is because people get that free shipping basically between 1 and 5 pounds. And then it doesn't charge them again until they get over 5 pounds. And that's a lot of clothes to get actually over 5 pounds. The other nice thing is we're able to just use the free shipping materials too. Because if you're doing a Whatnot show and you are shipping out 50 items, that's 50 bags, that's 50 poly bags, that's 50 boxes, that's 50 whatever. And when you can use the USPS's shipping stuff, you're just going to save yourself a ton of money. Foxy, good to see you. Nicole, what's going on? I'm having a sale today at $12.45, new seller fashion. Be Free Treasures, guys. Make sure you follow Be Free. Be Free, I'm going to follow you right now. And anyone that follows me today, if you guys haven't already followed, I will get you followed back too. I'm not one of those people that is like, oh, thanks for the follows, and then I don't follow people back. I try to get in there once a week and like follow the masses. Ooh, we got 15 left, you guys. This is it forever. This is it for the pink stickers. All right, let's get back to this here. Those were all really good questions, guys. All right, so we got a super banger here. I got these at a garage sale for $1. You cannot even with this. Look at this. So I see these in a pile at a garage sale. It has a $58 sticker on it, but look at how old that tag is. Now, I sell a lot of Tommy Hilfiger, and so I already knew. I'm like, that is an old Tommy patch. That is an old Tommy care tag. And I'm like, dude, these are dead stock. So these are 1990s dead stock. What that means is that these were made in the 90s. They never had the tag off. No one has ever worn these. Dead stock doesn't necessarily mean vintage. It just means it's an item that you can no longer purchase from the original manufacturer because they no longer make the item. So these being dead stock, I saw them for $1 and I was like, dude, I can't even with that. I was like, there's no way these are $1. So they sold for 71 over on I bet you never thought you'd see Tommy Hilfiger's old shorts selling for 71 bucks, but they are definitely worth it for that because $71, taking $1 turned into 71 bucks. Can't mess with that. What size are these? These were a size 38. So they're a great size too. Love it. Yeah, great deal. Exactly, boutique. Dude, that's why every once in a while at a garage sale, I see something in a bucket and I'm like, whoop, we're taking that. Because people, if you're not a reseller, you don't understand that something like that is worth money. If you're just like the average Joe, you're going through your old closet, you're like, oh my God, I've had these shorts forever. My grandma gave these to me back when I was a teenager and I couldn't stand them then, but I never got rid of them. And you're like, I just want to get rid of them. That's how that went. So in the 90s, 2000s, everyone had a pair, girls lighter shades and shorter. Yep, you are correct. Somebody knows their Tommy. Did you use Nifty for that? Yeah, absolutely. I actually think this one, I think I actually took an offer on this one. I think I had these listed for 76. I think I might have had these listed for 7. I'd have to look. But these ones I did take an offer on because 71 to 76 to me is like nothing. And here's my little trick. You guys want a little trick? Anybody want a little trick? So when I list things for a price, I have a couple things in my mind. One, all of my Bay listings immediately go on a 10% off sale if they're under $100. If they're over $100, they immediately go on a 5% off sale. For me, I have found that if my store looks like there's constantly sales and deals happening, and this really goes for the Bay, I do much better. I tried taking the sales off. I experimented with this like I think like in Marchish, and my sales went down a ton. So I'm like, okay, we're putting that back on. So when I price things, I'm constantly thinking, what do I want to get for this? What do I want to get for this? I want to get 70 bucks for these, let's say. My mind says I want 70 bucks for these. First of all, I know I need to mark those up because they're immediately going to go on a 10% off sale. And then on top of that, I also know that I'm going to be willing to take an extra 10% off. So I am always willing to take 20% off basically of the original, whatever the original price is. That's 10% off because I know I'm already going to put it on sale, and 10% off as like an additional nudge, right? So if I want to get these for $70, that means I need to be listing these at a higher price because they're already going to go on sale. So I probably had these originally listed as, I'd have to look back. I bet you I listed these as like maybe like 90 bucks or something. But I knew immediately I wasn't going to get 90 because I knew it was immediately going to go on 10% off sale, which was going to bring it down to like 81, something in there. I don't remember exactly what the numbers are, but you get the point. So let's say it's 81. Well, I know that I'm going to be willing to take an additional 10% off, which is going to bring that down to like $73 or whatever. So in my mind, if I want to make 70 bucks, I need to make sure I'm listing these at anywhere between like 87 to 90 because I know they're gonna go on sale, and then I know I'm gonna take an offer, and then I'm gonna be okay with that price. So that's how I price all of my stuff. On Depoppies, I immediately run a 10% off sale on everything. So I know I need to have that marked up. The only place where I don't put that into consideration is the Poshmark pay. And on PM, I don't run a constant sale. And so I will mark my things down a couple dollars if I want, or I just leave it. I don't sell anything over on PM for under $20 because I know I'm going to take an offer, right? Or I'm going to send an offer out for 20% off total. If I'm sending that offer out for 20% total, then I know that the lowest it can go is $16. I don't ever want to sell anything over there for under $16 because their fees are so expensive, because PM doesn't want you to be selling things for cheaper over there. They want you to be selling things for higher over there. So on all of my PM listings, let's say that I have an item listed for 18 on the Bay, I will put it up to 20 over on PM, so that because with the fees and stuff like that, it just doesn't make sense to do it any other way. Now, that being said, I don't sell a ton of stuff on PM. For the clothing and stuff I sell way more on Depop, and I sell way more on the Bay. So, oh man, I hope that wasn't too confusing, but if you're deeper into your reselling career, then that might make sense. Otherwise, people are going to be like, what is she even talking about? I know. Sometimes it can be confusing. Okay, so we're going to get these as small as we can. We're going to ship these out. I made sure that the tag, that dead stock tag, was in the inside because I want to make sure that that tag doesn't get disturbed, because that's why they're buying these. So these are going to Gabriel in Hawaii. They're going to Gabriel in Hawaii. And these are going to be 11 ounces. And we're going to do, we'll do 6 by 6 by. And so we're going to pay $4.51 for shipping. I charged $6.99 for these to ship these out, because I knew, I'm like, with the label and everything, I'm going to have to take care. And it's going to be this and it's going to be that. I want to make sure they stay nice. So I put them in at $6.99 because I was afraid $5.99 would be too low. And it worked out good. So let's see. Let's get these shipped out. And here we go. All right, purchase and label on that. Good to see you, Dennis. How is Dennis today? What are you up to? And what in the heck's going on? All right, Gabriel, you are the proud owner of a pair of shorts that nobody else on the entire planet is going to have, because I highly doubt there's another pair of these patchwork Tommies in the world that have never had the tag cut off of them. Pretty cool little find there. Oh, that's your brother's name? That is my uncle's name, is Dennis. Okay. Next thing we've got here is I've got shirts that are going to the same guy. Now, I got a bunch of Under Armour shirts. I am all about the bundling of these kind of shirts. They always sell for me. They sell well if I do that. I do this with Nike shirts a lot too, where I'll put a few of them together. If they are in the same size, Josh Schmidt unlocked, you're pretty great. You know what, John? You're pretty great. If they are within the same, like, size bracket and the same, like, their dry fits, or in Under Armour's, it would be like the Tech Gear or the Heat Gear, I will bundle all these together because it will save me money on my shipping. Now, one, I'm going to bundle them together. So he bought one set and he bought another set. So this is the deal he's getting. He's getting all of these shirts. However, instead of putting 5 of these shirts together, I like to do bundles online of 2s or 3s. Seem to be the best success for me. Anything over 4, it has to be, like, I'll do college teams. Because a lot of times, like, if I've got like a medium, a small, a large, an extra large, and it's all within a college team, like I did this with the CSU Trojan shirts a few weeks ago, I'll put them together. A lot of times they'll get bought by one person that goes to school there, and then he'll sell and parcel them out. So it's like I'm basically selling them to a reseller that's out of school that's going to sell those in person and probably make some money on it. Because otherwise, the person's paying $6 in shipping for each one of these t-shirts. Well, he's not going to buy this many shirts from me if he has to spend $6. So it's the same idea why a lot of people shop over here on Whatnot, because you're able to get a lot of stuff at a good price, but you're also not going to pay tons in shipping, especially if you find a max shipping show of $9.21 or something like that. So what I'm going to do though is and you guys don't have to do this. This is just something I do. This is a charity thing. I always, oh my gosh, look at that dinosaur. That's so cute. I always do a little bit of a refund if the person gets more than one bundle for me at a time. For instance, this guy paid like, I don't even know, probably $15 to get this shipped to him, which is way too much. It's not going to cost me $15. So I'm going to go ahead and just send him a little bit of a return over. And what I write is like, thanks so much for the purchase. Here's a little bit of a refund for your shipping. I hope you have a great day. What that does is that brings back a customer to my store. I have people that I've had more repeat buyers come back to me because I have refunded shipping than I think people that don't refund shipping for sure. I have one guy that buys a magazine from me, literally 1 or 2 magazines from me every single month. And I've got this whole stack of these magazines and he just buys a couple every month and it's his reading material. And when he buys them, I refund a little shipping. He buys from me next month. It just seems to be good customer service in my eyes. And the other thing that it's going to buy me is a great review. So for me, I will not refund them the whole thing because I like to make a little bit of money on my shipping, but I will refund what I feel like is a fair thing. Now, I don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. This is not a requirement. It is just something that I do because I think that it is, I just think it's a good thing to do. That's just me. That's just me. My core values like it. All right. We are going to get the shipping label. Now, we are going to buy it over in, oh, this is interesting. This is going to a clinic. It's going to a guy. Attention to Mike at this clinic. I bet he's like a doctor or something like that. That's cool. Anyways, so I'm going to buy this over in Pirate Ship because it is over £1 and I'm going to save a ton of money doing it that way for sure. Okay, yeah, for sure. So we're going to paste that there. Now his address is kind of weird. So we're going to just switch this a little bit here. We're going to go ahead and put that. That is the one thing, please, if you are doing any shipping on Pirate Ship, when you've got someone that puts in a weird address, attention someone, or there's like a weird little apartment or something like that, and they put it in the wrong spot, you're just going to want to like kind of redo the address a little bit over on Pirate Ship just to make sure it's good. So we are going to switch that around a little bit. Perfect. And then this is going to be envelope. And then we are going to do 10 by 9. And this is £1, 14 ounces. Let's take a look at our shipping for this. Track down, Tracy. What in the heck is going on with you today? How's my friend Track Down Tracy? So we're only going to pay $7.36 to ship this. This dude literally spent like $16 on shipping. So I can refund him a few bucks. It'll buy me a good review. It'll get me a repeat customer. And I think I have some other Under Armour shirts in that size. I will probably message this guy and be like, hey, I have a couple other shirts in this size and they're Under Armour. Are you interested? And if he says yes, then I will sell them to him and make a little extra money. Always thinking about, when you're doing sales, it's always about thinking about like, what can this sale turn into? Can it turn into a good review? Can it turn into a repeat customer? Can it turn into me selling something else? I've sold an umpteen amount of items to people because I remember that they like a certain item or they like a certain size. Like I know Shy, if I find a Care Bear, I'm gonna let her know. Mike, if I know I find an Affliction t-shirt in a 2XL or bigger, he wants it. I've got people that are looking for specific skate clothes. I've got people that are looking for Harley Davidson leather. I've got just different people looking for different items. And it's like, if you can write that down, or, if you got a good memory or something, nothing's wrong with messaging those people and being like, hey, yo, I got something that I think you're going to want. Now, the cool thing about this is I was able to combine these, and because it's going to the same account and it's going to the same address, I'm able to use the same tracking number here. You cannot do this if it's a different account or if it's going to a different address, but if everything is the same, then you're able to do that. You can just put the same tracking number in and boom, wham, bam, let's get this shipped out. Guru of Garbage. I love that. That's a great name. Michelle, what you doing? How'd you make out Saturday? I thought I was going to have to send you bail money. Dude, I am telling you, Saturday was weird. What a weird day that was. So, all right. Do you guys want to hear how much weirder the day got? Okay, so Saturday garage sailing, we had a weird day. The weather was strange. It was our first really hot weekend here. It was 100 degrees when I was out garage sailing, or it was like 80 something, and then it flipped to 100. So everyone was just kind of weird. There was Karens, there was people like arguing about the price of things, outrageous pricing on stuff. The community sales, half of them had like nobody at them. It was just weird. It was a weird Saturday. We drove a lot. We learned a lot of lessons about like mapping it out ahead of time. And Justin and I already talked about it. Like we're going to do things a little bit differently with how we map stuff out. It's a different beast garage sailing here than it was in Washington State where we were. It's just the cities are set up different. How people advertise is different. Anyways, long story short, we learned a lot of lessons on Saturday. But it was a weird Saturday. It was a strange Saturday. So after I got off with you guys, we went into this little place to grab a bite to eat. We walked into this restaurant, but it was like a super bar. It just felt really like kind of a little seedy. And which I'm down for that some nights if I'm seeing a punk band or something. But if I'm going to try to get something good to eat that's not going to make my stomach hurt, I'm like, this is not going to work. So we get back in the car and we research and we find, what was the name of where we went? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. Guero's. We went to Guero's downtown Austin. And all the other restaurants that are on this street are like really, really good. And it had really, really good reviews. And I was like, man, I just want like a taco salad. I've been thinking about tacos all day and I'm not really eating a lot of carbs right now, but I was like, I would maybe have one. And I'm like, and I want like a cold adult beverage, right? So we get in there, we get seated. It's got the vibe there, super cool vibe. We sit down, we're hanging out. The waitress comes over and she is in the shittiest mood that anyone has ever been in. She did not want to be there. It was so strange. And so we order our drinks. She brings us our drinks. She gives us the wrong ones. So we wind up switching back. So I'm like, this isn't right. They were the worst cocktails I've ever had in my actual life. Like they were so bad. And I'm like, oh man, you know the ones where like the flavor's off and it's like the alcohol is like not good and it's like they did not taste good. And so we're like, whatever, it's hot, it's 100 degrees, we'll just drink them and it'll be fine. We'll order something different, right? So I wound up ordering like just this frozen little slushy thing and it was delicious. Justin got something else and it was literal water. It was so bad. I don't even think he drank it. And then the waitress like wouldn't come back over. She finally came over and took our order. I tried to order what I wanted. They didn't have. I'm like, okay, so I ordered something different. We got our food and the food was so bad. It was so dry. And you're trying to eat and the meat was literally like so overcooked. It was so bad. So we're just kind of laughing it off, whatever. We like picked at it, ate it, and we left. And I'm like, okay, let's go do something fun. We got to do something. We got to redeem this day. Let's go do something fun. So we wound up going to this really cool place, actually. It was called like Pins. What was that place called? What was it? Pins Mechanical. It's a new place in Austin, like South Austin. So we went there, had a great time. They have free video games. They have these old retro video games. I got to sit down and beat Street Fighter because I'm a gamer girl, and I got to beat Street Fighter on old Sega with old Sega controllers. So that was super fun. And I had to impress everybody by being a girl that can like beat Street Fighter in like one sitting. Anyways, so we had a great time there. We had a really good time there. We had fun. And so we were still a little hungry. So we're like, man, we want to grab something to eat. And I noticed online that this band that I wanted to see, I saw them last year, they were playing. And I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. This day is going to turn out to be great. And we went on and they were sold out. And I'm like, crap. So we tried to find tickets for this. We're like at a parking lot trying to find tickets for this show. It's 100 degrees outside. Justin's like, do you want to just go? And I was like, no, let's try to get tickets. I was like, well, let's drive up there. I was like, maybe it just says everything's sold out because it's so close to when the show was starting that a lot of times venues won't sell tickets again. I know this has nothing to do with reselling, but we're doing story time. And so we go there and I asked everybody, do you know if you have tickets? Can I get in? Is there tickets? And it was like a hard no. This thing was sold out. There wasn't even people selling tickets. Like there was no scalpers or anything like that. Like it was legit sold out. So that was a bummer. And we're like, okay, well let's go find some live music on our way home. And so that we can at least redeem this day and it'll be fun. So I look up online and I find that this place that we like to go to on the way home that's in Manchaca was playing live music. And I swear to God, you guys, I was on the right day. I was on the right everything. We looked it up. It was 100% correct. And we get there and they weren't. And somehow I was on the wrong Facebook page or something. So I messed up with where they were playing and what was happening. So we're like, gosh dang it. So then we went to another little bar area there. And what we wanted to do was just like maybe play a game of pool, listen to some live music, have a beer, go home, sleep, end of the night. Let's wrap up this crazy day, right? I mean, on Saturday, guys, we saw like an actual crime scene thing happen on a bridge. Like, I'm telling you, Saturday was insane. So we wanted to redeem it. So we get to this other place and literally we walk in and the music stops playing. So we go to the bar and I go to order a beer and they don't have anything that I like to drink. I tried to order a cider and they didn't have any. And so I'm like, okay, Justin's like, all right, let's just head back down towards the town we live in. Maybe we can grab a bite to eat or something. And I'm just like, okay, because we're starving at this point. All we've eaten is we've just picked up food, right? So we get back down here to where we live, and there's this new place called Tony C's Beer Garden we hadn't been to. So we're like, oh, that sounds like fun. They've got pizza and stuff, and the reviews online looked pretty good. It's new though, so we didn't know. So we get there, the restaurant's super clean, it's super nice. We get there, they close at like 10. This is like 9 o'clock by this time. And we're like, okay, well, they're still open for an hour, so we should be good. So we walk up, the girl that took our order, super sweetheart, very, very nice. And we ordered our drinks, we ordered our food, we go sit down, the restaurant's super clean. We're like, okay, this is it. This is the redemption. This is the redemption moment, right? So we sit down and we're waiting forever for our drinks. Our drinks never came. So I literally had to go across the restaurant to the little bar area because I could see our drinks sitting there. And I went and got our drinks and we came back over, sat down, and they came and they brought us these little mozzarella bite things that we had gotten. And mind you, I don't usually have carbs, so it's like I was really excited to like eat something, and I'm like, this will be like my cheat day or whatever. And we got to take a bite of them, and they are so overcooked. It's like 47 days in the fryer overcooked. So we just kind of picked at that, and we're like, that's okay because our pizza's coming, and our pizza's going to be amazing. And so the pizza comes, you guys, and it's literally raw. It's not just kind of raw. It's literally like dough raw. And I'm like, I think maybe they forgot to finish cooking this or something. So we get the manager comes over and she's like, what's going on? And I just showed her and she's like, oh boy. She's like, I was really worried about that when I saw your order come in. She's like, I asked the girl, did you ask them if they were okay with that order and if they wanted it cooked extra? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, because you got ricotta on there and you got fresh mozz, and sometimes that makes it hard for the dough to cook. And so we're like, well, shouldn't you have said something like that to us when we ordered the pizza? Like, yo, this may not cook. Like, if you saw her taking the order and you asked us, you could have just come out and told. And we were being polite and nice because that's who we are. We're just not like I ain't gonna be a Karen. That's just not who I am. And so I was like, okay. I was like, well, this isn't edible. And at this point, guys, it's like 9:45. They're closing in 15 minutes. I can see the people cleaning up in the back kitchen. I ain't putting another order in. So the lady goes, well, what do you want to do? And I said, if we could just get a refund, that'd be great. Now, normally, if you're a restaurant and you have served overcooked mozz bites, the person had to go to the bar to get their own drinks, and you served them a pizza that was raw. By the way, guys, our total was $85. And so I'm like, we got to get we couldn't eat anything, right? So we left this restaurant. We didn't eat anything. And we thought they had refunded us our whole ticket, when we got home, we realized they had only refunded the pizza. So Justin's calling today to be like, yo, we spent $85. Thanks for refunding the pizza. But dude, you gave us bad mozzarella. My wife had to go get our drinks. Like, it was not a good situation. So we wound up getting home, and my husband had to make us food that we found out of like the freezer, made us some food. We ate the food out of the freezer at like 10:30 at night and just called it a night. It was a bananas day. It was one of the craziest, weirdest, strangest, awkward. I mean, we should have been done with garage sailing and just called it and been like, this day was insane. This was a really weird day. People were really strange. Everything was weird. We should have just gone home. But we did get to go to the Pins mechanical, which like I said, we did have a great time there. We'll definitely go back. I would never eat food there. It's definitely not like I'm going to go there and get a good meal. But it's a good place to go if you like playing. Like, we played Connect Four, they had cornhole, they have beer pong, but with these large garbage cans, a bunch of free games, pinball machines, arcades, just all the stuff that we like. I mean, my idea of a great date night is like a good, not burnt, cheap meal, some free video games. That is like my dream date night. That is the girl that I am. I ain't want no fancy restaurants. Just take me out for, a good time. And so anyways, needless to say, thanks for asking how our Saturday went. I know this has literally nothing to do with reselling, but hey, I thought you guys might like a story. Track down Tracy. I thought I may have to send you bail money. You know what, girl? It was. I'm confused. When do you use pirate ship compared to whatnot shipping? If I'm selling stuff on whatnot, I only use whatnot shipping. Right now, I'm shipping stuff that I sold on the Bay. Kimberly Rochelle, welcome in. Dizzy, oh no, I used to live at Guero's. I'm so disappointed. Diz, it was a 5 out of 10, and that is probably being very generous. And that waitress was having a terrible day. She did not want to be there. She was like flinging plates down on the table. Like, it was, I haven't had a waitress that was like that angry about life. I would have hit eject, I know, no doubt, right? What was, you guys, it was a day. It's only the barbecue. I know, we should have just got out and found some barbecue or something, but sometimes on a Saturday afternoon that late in the day, you ain't getting no good barbecue. That is like literally sold out. Yeah, things to make you go, I know, it was. Now I know why Hustle eats Taco Bell, dude. I mean, it's so awesome here. There's so many great food places, and we just stuck out. I mean, we are newer to living here in Texas. We've only been here a little over a year. And I mean, we've only been into Austin a handful of times. We've probably been up there like 10 times or something. And so we're still getting to know the land. And here's the thing. When you move somewhere new, sometimes you just have to try stuff, right? You just got to try it out. And it's not all going to be winners. But it certainly isn't. We usually don't have that big of loser days. That was definitely a situation. All right. Next thing we got here that we sold is Wranglers. These are some 1980s ones. What is really crazy, weirdest size ever. They were at 38-32. They're now at 36-31. The crazy thing about Wranglers is I think of how many times I passed up Wranglers at yard sales, like even a year ago. But Wranglers have made this comeback in and not just Wranglers pants, Wrangler shirts and stuff too. They have made this crazy, insane comeback. I have sold more Wrangler items in the last month and a half than ever of all time combined between me and probably 4 other resellers. I think a big part of it is Western wear, of course, is very popular. But also Yellowstone is one of those shows that really kind of put Western wear back on the map for people to start wearing. And you see communities wearing Western wear you never would have thought wore Western wear before. You see Western wear and preppy coming together. You see Western wear and streetwear coming together. You see Western wear and hip hop coming together. You see things that you never thought you'd see before. And so you're just able to sell it to a larger audience now. And I think, especially the last season of Yellowstone, the one that just happened, 90% of the clothing they wore was Wrangler. I don't know if anyone noticed that. I noticed that because that's what I look for. And then also you got like Lainey Wilson that came out with her Wrangler line. There's just a lot of like Wrangler stuff. Wrangler is also like your second tier Western line, meaning like there's how things sell is by tiers. So like take like the Gap, Banana Republic, and Old Navy, for instance. It's all owned by the same company, but Banana Republic is your high end, Gap is your mid tier, and then Old Navy is your bottom tier. That's what happens with styles. They'll sell the really super popular high end version of things, will come back into market, and then it'll be the next one, and then it'll be the next one. Like you saw Affliction come back. Then you see Ed Hardy, which is like the second tier, and then you see the third tier, like Triple X Rude, or like other things in that genre. And that's kind of what Wrangler is. Wrangler's kind of like that second or third tier, which tells me that Western wear will probably still be hot for another like maybe like another year. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens through the winter time. We'll see how it goes and see if anything changes. But so far that is what it is. So lots of Wrangler on clearance at the Wally Worlds. They are remodeling. Yeah, now I will say this. Wrangler, the Wally World Wrangler, that is not what I'm talking about. I don't buy to resell the Wally World Wrangler. That stuff is just too cheap and you can get it too cheap. But like if you're looking for like the higher end Wrangler or vintage, that's different. Yeah. Emily, welcome in. Good to see you. Modern Wrangler, yeah, I would say it's definitely selling. I mean, I'm selling quite a bit of the Modern Wrangler pearl snaps. Like, I think with the Modern Wrangler ones, it's not the shirts and stuff. I don't think that they sell those, excuse me, at Wally World. I could be wrong about that. But I would say the only thing with Wrangler that I would personally stay away from is I just don't buy the Wally World Wranglers. That's the Wrangler patches that have like the compass looking thing on it. It kind of looks like this. It almost looks like a nautical star. Those don't really resell as well as like these older Wranglers that have like the leather back patch kind of look. So yeah, natural state. You can feel the difference in the denim. Yes, natural state of high is 100% correct. You can really tell the difference. Like you can listen to a pair of Wranglers from Wally World and it'll be like ting, 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 because it's got a ton of plastic in it. Whereas you listen to like the really good line of Wrangler stuff or like the vintage Wrangler, it's like dunk, 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 dunk. It's got that like bass sound to it. And that makes a big difference. And that tells you that there's not a lot of plastic. Like these are definitely going to be a cotton. Okay, we're going to copy these. And to answer a question that I already know is coming, how do you know if Wrangler is vintage? So Wrangler does not date stamp their items. You have to just kind of get to know the labels. The only way you can really tell on a Wranglers is you'll see that they'll say made in the USA. Then you definitely know it's vintage. But they don't always say that. If you see made in the USA, that's typically going to be like your 70s, your 80s, your very early 90s. You're going to see that with the Wranglers. And then it switches to made in Mexico, which is going to be your like late 90s to Y2K Wranglers. And then after that, it kind of switches. You'll see like Nicaragua, you'll see Honduras, you'll see there's a couple other places within those like post Y2K. And then all of the newer ones, some of them will say made in Mexico, which is interesting because I don't believe they really do that factory there anymore, but I could be wrong about that. But the newest ones, a lot of them will say like just like made in China or something like that. And then you just know that it's definitely going to be new, or it'll have like more of an Asian based country. And then you definitely know that they're not vintage. And then, like I said, just stay away from the Wranglers that have that nautical look on the back, or at least right now. That's not to say that when the third market of Western wear comes back before Western wear goes out, it's not to say that that won't be popular, but it's just not going to be right now. So these are 114. You can also tell by the weight. So a new pair of Wranglers, the weight's going to be like 1 pound 7 ounces because of all of the plastic, whereas these are 1 pound 14 ounces because it's made from real cotton. So that is also the difference. All these little things you just get to know over the years and over the time of reselling. Spent a lot of time watching videos about it. I really love the variety of information you talk about here. It's really cool and helpful. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we kind of try to talk about a little bit about something, and then we almost always end up with doing story time too. I did sell some Wrangler workwear vests from Walmart. Yeah, track down Tracy. That's interesting. I would say that would probably qualify as being a little bit more of an oddity item, so I can see that selling. For sure. Like same thing with the pearl snap, Western pearl snaps. You're just not going to get as much for them with the Wrangler ones unless they're vintage. If they're chambray or something, you're going to get more. But yeah, I can see that with the workwear vest. That makes sense. Oh, hello from, is that Great Britain or Australia? I can't tell the flag with my old eyes. I can't tell what that is. But yeah, great to have you in here. Welcome. What time is it where you are? It is 11:19 a.m. here. I like the nerd glasses. That makes me happy. So these are going to Timothy in New Jersey. We're gonna print this label out here, and like I said, we're doing this out of pirate ship because we're gonna save money. So it's $1 less for me to print these out of pirate ship than it is for me to print it out of the bay. You missed Chad with his old glasses. I know. I can't believe. Auntie, I was out. I got like 12 hours of sleep last night. Well, on Saturday we had obviously we had an interesting day. I ended up just getting a little sunburn on my arms and had a little bit of sunburn back here on the neck. So I was just really tired yesterday. It was also just such an exhausting day the day before. And so I just kicked it all day. I napped off and on all day. I just kind of was a bum yesterday. And then I ended up eating early. We had some leftover chicken soup. So I wound up eating early and I just crashed. I was out, but I did see him with that he had found some at I think at the garage sale or something. I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy he's got his old eyes. I love that. Dude, old eyes is the best. They're in the other room right now because I use them for whatnot. But I freaking love my old eyes. They work better than anything I've ever used for trying to see little tiny serial numbers and stuff like that. Saving and continuing. This is gonna go UPS. Going UPS. Thanks for sharing the live stream, Natural State. I appreciate that. Did I miss anybody's stuff here? JD baby, what you doing? What you doing, JD baby? All right, next thing we've got here is, I think we got a couple stuff over on the old Poshy. Oh my gosh, you can't make that up. You literally cannot make that up. We are mailing off a Western wear shirt. This is a wash that I see misrepresented a lot. So this is a wash that a lot of you guys don't use, which you should use in your listings. So this is what's called a bleach wash. It doesn't mean it's been bleached. It just means it's a bleach wash. A lot of people will call this a light wash. So it's a blue color, but it's almost lighter. It's way lighter than a light wash. And it is a wash that is very popular, and a lot of people get it based on that. And a lot of listings don't have it. So if you can put that on your listing, you are way more likely to sell it if someone's searching. If someone is searching like pearl snap bleach wash shirt, yours is gonna pop up because there's just not a lot of people that use it. So this is what the wash looks like. You guys can always Google search too if you want to get really good coloring as far as exactly what this looks like. But this is a bleach wash Levi's. Got it for $1 at a garage sale. Sold it for $20 on the Poshmark. So we're gonna go like this, and this is a women's too. If this was a men's, I probably could have gotten a little bit more for it. But so how we do this when we fold these two, I know a lot of people have seen this. Some of you guys haven't. So if you're shipping out shirts and they have pearl snaps or any sort of buttons in the middle, you want to make sure it's on the inside of the shirt so it doesn't grate on the outside of your poly bags. So the best way to fold these is take your top, you're going to fold down the collar. So it's going to look just like this. You're going to bring your side in here, and then you're going to wrap this, make sure that the pearl snap is inside of the tail. Then you're going to take the other side here, you're going to wrap it over, and one more time we're going to make sure that the pearl snap is inside of the tail. Then we're going to fold down, we're going to fold up, and then we're going to fold together. And what that's going to do is create a nice little sandwich here where all of the pearl snaps are inside, so they're hidden. And most importantly, your package is very small. So I'm able to take a really big shirt and get it down to our 6x6x2 so that we can save money, honey. So cute little dinosaur. There we go. I'm sure there's a lot of screenshots and videograms. Yes, I'm sure that there is. Okay, we're gonna pin this down. We're gonna get this as small as we can too. And then, like I said, that's gonna make it so that when we go to ship this, I can ship this as the 6x6x2, which is just gonna allow me to ship this for less and save a little bit of money. Oh, we're on Poshmark, so I guess it doesn't really matter because I'm not gonna make anything extra, but that's okay. So on Poshy, I am going to use one of these envelopes. I'm still always gonna fold my stuff like that though, because now those pearl snaps there's no way for it to get any damage. So when you're on Poshmark, best thing to ship those in is either one of these, or if you can always fit it in one of these little bubble ones. Because on the Bay, the dimensions matter when it comes to postage. Yes. And natural state of high, especially when you're over in pirate ship, because like I said, they do purchase stuff in that cubic advantage, which they do offer that a lot of times on eBay as well. But if you can get it down to that 6x6x2, it's a huge change. It'll save like 70 cents on every single order. For sure. God, thank you so much for putting that in there. That is my YouTube, you guys. If you're watching me over on YouTube as well, I hope I'm live over there. Oh my gosh, I forgot to even look. Oh, am I? I probably have people that have asked questions and I totally forgot to pull the chat up. Oh, am I? I probably Wait, I gotta mute this. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right, well, here, let's pay some attention to YouTube. Hi, Michael, good to see you. Sajade, nice to see you. Blue Dogs says, what is your name? It is Charity. Thank you, honey, for answering questions. Oh my gosh, Kylie, good to see you. Jess, love seeing you as well. Blue Dogs, little whatnot tip, even if package is overweight, it's still shipped with the same label, no extra charge, and that is true. Thank you guys for, I totally forgot to pull up YouTube. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, friends. I was not trying to ignore you. I just totally forgot. So we're going to pop this in a little bubble wrap, because why not? Because it's going on Poshy. So we can do a little padded envelope. Here we go. Yes, God says watch the playlist. Guys, we are officially almost halfway to being monetized over there. You have to have 4,000 hours over there to get monetized. And I believe we are at almost 2,000. It takes time. I mean, if I was doing like clickbait videos or something, I'm sure it could probably happen earlier, but I'm just not doing that because A, I don't even know how to do that, and B, that's just not me. I want people that are following and stuff that are into what we're doing. Otherwise, it's like, what's kind of the point in my eyes anyway? So we're getting there, God. We're getting there. Kelly Murr, what is going on? And if you guys got anything from us on Saturday for our whatnot, we are shipping those as well today. So I will have all of that shipped out for you. All right, and then the last thing we've got on Poshy is a pair of 1990s Levi's 501s. Y'all know I love selling my Levi's. This wash is what's called stone wash. I've had a lot of people ask me in the past, what does stone wash look like? And this is what stone wash looks like. It can also be a slightly darker color. Basically what it is it's where when you look at the fibers, they have like that almost speckled look to them, is stonewash. And like, I wish I had a pair of stonewash darker pants in here, but I don't. Stonewash can be in the darker color as well. There's like a more of a medium stonewash, and then there's the lighter stonewash. These are not acid wash. I've seen a lot of people put acid wash on stuff. I think it might be like some of the younger resellers because they just weren't around for the first acid wash when it came around. Acid wash looks totally different. If you're curious what the different washes are on jeans, just Google search that. Just be like all the different washes of jeans, and then you'll get to learn what is bleach wash, what is stone wash, what is light, what is medium, what's dark, what's acid wash. I'm trying to think if I'm missing any. Obviously tie-dye. There's a lot of different kinds of washes out there. You can also learn what is whiskers, what are whiskers, what are fade lines, all that kind of stuff. If you sell jeans, I would suggest learning those items. Cute little dinosaur. Because that is going to help you in your listings. If you can get those things on your listings and put the correct wash, that's how people search for stuff. Somebody is like, oh, I want some Stonewashed Levi's distressed grunge 90s. They type that in. If you have those keywords up in your title, you have them in the theme, like if you're in the Bay, and then you have them in your description, that really helps. If you don't know what keywords are just words within your listing that the search engines are constantly looking for. I have a keywords master list that you can purchase. It is a forever thing, which means as new aesthetics and new things come onto the market, I will be editing that document. So make sure you go in there and check it every once in a while. I will put new next to a new aesthetic. If something comes out, new aesthetic with new keywords. I believe in my heart that is how we're able to sell as much stuff as we sell, is because we're using those keywords and the search engines are able to find us. So that is, I will die on that mountain for sure, for sure. So now the other cool thing about doing Poshmark, besides the fact that you can do the priority things, is you can get so many great shipping materials for free through USPS.com. So you can either just go to USPS.com and find them, or I do have a link in our Linky Tree that leads you to that. It's not an affiliate thing. USPS is not paying me or anything like that. It's just a link that will take you directly to where the shipping supplies are so that you can create an account and get tons. There's so many free shipping supplies out there. Don't use your own stuff. Use the post office's stuff. It'll save you money. Save you money, honey. Okay, we are going to print this out here. Waves of Rice. Track down Tracy. I don't know what that means. We're going to download that. We're going to print this out. And here we go. Allie, what are you doing? Good to see you. Happy to see you, my friend. So these are going to Laura in Hawaii. That's 2 Hawaii orders today. How interesting. I don't think I've ever had 2 Hawaii orders in a row or in the same shipping period. That's so crazy. That's interesting. All right, putting that there, and that's going there. And here we go. All right. I think that's going to be me, guys. Everything else for today, all of our whatnot, I have an entire huge box of y'all that are going out today from our show on Saturday. So that'll get shipped out. And then we also changed our schedule slightly. So we were doing shows 7 days a week. And it was literally destroying us. I just was having no time to do home life, family life, relaxation. It was too much. I just bit off more than I could chew. I thought I could do one every day, but it's not just the show that takes time. It's all the prep work for the show and then doing the show and then the shipping and all that. It's we just need a day where we're not doing any sort of reselling stuff and just trying to do family things, cleaning up our house, paying bills, all that kind of stuff. So we changed it a little bit. We are still doing these on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So I'll be on here starting at 10 a.m. my time. We're usually on here for an hour or an hour and a half. And then Tuesday nights is still the same. We're doing our costume and a theme. So tomorrow's show is 90s skater. And I've got mad, vintage, awesome, fun skater stuff. So that's tomorrow night. And then we're doing our Thursday shows. But our Thursday shows now are going to be our garage sale haul shows. So we're going to shop on Saturday at garage sales where you guys hang out with us. And then we do those things called Take Fives where we run 5 items every once in a while on Saturdays as we're garage sailing. And that's your opportunity to get the stuff for super, super, super cheap because we're basically just running it for cost. And then that next Thursday is when we run the stuff for that we got from Saturday. So we do it on Saturday, then we're going to do the stuff on Thursday. So instead of doing that on Sundays the next day, so the only day that we're not live now is Sundays. And that's going to be us day of cleaning our house, going grocery shopping, doing our hair, just life stuff. Cause man, I definitely, hey, you know what? You push yourself and you see what you can do. And it was just getting to the point where the 7 days a week, everything else was just falling so behind because we just were sacrificing that time to work. And I'm a hard worker. That's a problem is I'm such a workaholic. I will literally work 100 hours a day if I could. And so I'm I need to stop myself. I have to have a day that we just are not working because good night. You guys know what that is like, right? All right, we are out of here then, off the post office. I will be back on here tomorrow night. So I will see you guys tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that will be for our show. So make sure you guys go in when you get off of here, go in and do me a favor and just bookmark all of the shows that we have coming up. Even if you're not sure, I have stuff booked all the way to September. Even if you're not sure if you can make it to them, just you guys bookmarking them helps us to be able to get our shows pushed out more, because that's how Whatnot decides who they're going to basically show on the main screen is like by bookmarks and stuff. So please do that. And then does anybody have any shows coming up that they want to shout out? Jen Deals, what's going on? If you guys have any shows coming up, please put them down below. Or if you have anyone that you know has a show coming up that you think we should go to, put that down below too. And then last but not least, let's go in and follow each other. So make sure, let's go in and follow. God says he's got Wednesday at 3 p.m. He's doing shirts. Ooh, God, I've gotten some good stuff from him, you guys. Make sure you follow Idris here, wherever you see him on your screen. He has some really great stuff. So make sure you guys follow him. Hey, friend, good to see you. I'm a Whatnot. You are, Jen. Your profile picture is different. I'm working. I'll follow you back. Yeah. If you guys, let's follow each other. Oh, the shows have a voiceover. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Of the shows I've got coming up. Mixed Case Packs shows coming up. Says Boutique Baby LLC. So make sure you guys follow Boutique Baby as well. So we definitely want to make sure that we're following each other. That's how we're better together. So yeah, anyone that's followed me, I'll get in and follow you guys back today too when I get a chance. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Hope you guys have an amazing, awesome, fantastic Amaze Balls Monday. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I will be in a costume. I'll be in a costume tomorrow. And we're going to be selling 90s skate stuff. So it should be fun. All right, you guys, have a beautiful day. See y'all soon. Bye, everybody. Oh, let's create a raid. Let's see. Is anybody on? Who do we got? Oh, Cassandra's on. All right, we're going to raid Cassandra. You guys let Cassandra know that I sent you in and tell her I said hi. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, bye, everybody.